So remembering Srila Gurudev's pastimes is greatly beneficial to us. Radha Krishna Leela is very far off, but Gurudev so mercifully shows his own pastimes in this world, giving us a way to develop relationship to him, to be inspired by his own life, his sadhana, in some way that's relatable. Radha Krishna's pastimes, we are not there, it's very far. We cannot relate to it so easily. But Gurudev, he shows his own life of sadhana, giving us guidelines how we can follow and approach him. So Gurudev had very wonderful pastimes. We'll just speak briefly going through his different pastimes as much as we can. Vaishnavas very mercifully every year talk so much about Srila Gurudev. When Gurudev disappeared, then for 1 year continuously Vaishnavas spoke about Gurudev's pastimes and his connection to Braj Dham, Navadvip Dham and Puri Dham. And we published this as Sri Guru Darshan. We spent 6 years working on this publication. Srila Gurudev appeared in Tiwaripur, Buxar, Bihar, in a Brahmin family, Tiwari Brahmins in the Ramanandi line, followers of devotees of Lord Ram. There are so many wonderful pastimes of his childhood. It said that even when Gurudev was a very young boy, you could see, in Ramcharit Manas, it said, Chikner Pat, that Honhar Balavan Hote Hoi Chikne Pat. You can understand who's going to be a great personality by indications in their childhood. So Gurudev, even when he was like very young, he would not take any food or any water unless first he was given prasad. First he was given charnamrita. His parents would worship Shalagram, Thakurji, and he would not take anything unless he was given charnamrita. Why? Charnamrita is something directly connected to Krishna. Those who are, it's a symptom of pure devotee. Their whole body is prasad. So how will they will not want to live unless they're always connected to Krishna, especially first, lest they receive Krishna's prasad or charnamrita. So Gurudev was always like that. And he would always like to go and bathe in Ganga. Ganga was nearby his village. And so his father or his grandfather's father is Baleshwarnath Tiwari, grandfather Dhyan Chandra Tiwari, his mother Lakshmi Devi. So they would take Gurudev and bathe him in the Ganga. Or if they would not bathe him, then they would bring Ganga water or have Ganga water in their house and use that to bathe him. Since Gurudev was born, so many people would come in, so many sadhus would come and his family would serve them. By the attractive power of Srila Gurudev, so many devotees would come, so many santas. In that area, sometimes they would perform Kumbh Mela in that area. So naturally many sadhus would visit that area. There's many holy places there, Vashishta Rishi Ashram, and many holy places are there in that area. So from Gurudev's birth, he was always engaged in Kirtan Katha. Wherever Hari Katha was going on, Gurudev would go there with his father, Baleshwarnath, or his grandfather, Dhyan Chandra. And during Katha, other people would fall asleep. But Gurudev would always stay alert, even though he was like a little boy. And sometimes, Katha would last many hours, and so his father or grandfather would like to leave. And Gurudev would, if they would try to take him, then Gurudev would throw a tantrum. Gurudev would get very upset. No, you can't make me go with you. I will stay here. You can go home, but I'll stay and listen to Katha. So in this way, Gurudev, sometimes he would listen for hours and hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. It's famous in India. Ram Katha, 12 hours. Krishna Katha, 24 hours with Kirtan. So Gurudev from childhood, he had so much taste for Katha. That's why Gurudev is glorified. Shri Krishna Lila Kathane Sudaksham. Gurudev has so much anurag, attraction, attachment to Krishna Katha, even from a boyhood. So in this way, Gurudev would constantly have attachment to hearing Ram Katha. It's described that he had so much devotion for Lord Ram that even when he was a little boy, he had darshan of Ram, Lakshman, Sita, Hanuman. He had darshan numerous times. One time he saw them when he was a young boy. A little bit later, when he was like 9 or 10, he had darshan of Ram in a dream. And then Ram Lakshman appeared in that Ram Lakshman, and then they appeared in a different form. And he thought, who are these beautiful golden personalities? Ram is Shamvarna, but now Ram is golden. Who is this? He did not know. They said, oh, we are Gauranitai. You should come to us in Navadvip Dham. From that time, Gurudeva was thinking, Navadvip Dham, what is this place? Who is Gauranitai? And he began studying. It's described that Gurudev especially liked history of different subjects. And so when he was reading history, he began to study the history of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and gradually develop greed to hear more and to relish the bhakti and the nectar in Mahaprabhu's Leela. So this was when he was still young, not even adolescent. There's many pastimes. One time we heard the pastime how he met a yogi in the forest. When he was out with his friends, he would ride horseback with his friends into the forest and they would perform different Ram Leela. Like Nityananda would perform pastimes of Krishna Leela, Gurudev would also perform Ram Leela pastime with his friends. He met a yogi and the yogi told him, oh, I've been waiting a long time to see a personality like you. But don't think you'll also, be bound to samsara. You will be a yogi like me. You will be a sadhu. You will be parivrajak. You will go everywhere helping everyone. This is his prediction. Even Gurudev's guru, Srikanta Mishra, his family line guru, he studied his palm when he was born. And he had 10 chakras on his fingers, which is very auspicious, on the fingerprints, symbol of the chakra. And he said, oh, he will be Chakravarti. Chakravarti means he will be like, a Chakravarti is someone who everyone revolves around, like a hub of a wheel. This is called Chakravarti. So he is a Chakravarti. And he will travel all over the world, bringing hundreds of thousands, millions of people towards bhakti. He told this to his parents. He didn't want to disturb his parents. Oh, he will be a tyagi, he will renounce home. He said he will be a great guru, a great acharya. So even in his infancy, this was predicted. Srikanta Mishra. Later on, when Gurudev was a sannyasi and his father was about to leave this world, he came back to his village because he promised, his father said, please, when I'm leaving, come back one time to give me your darshan. So that time again he met his family guru, and his family guru offered him pranam with so much respect. Because he could understand, who is this transcendental personality? He is really a Nitya Siddha. He is really a Bhagavat Parashad, associate of Krishna. So therefore, he had so much respect. Even though in their childhood, Gurudev had some, not quarrels, but like Gurudev, pure devotees, they don't just accept whatever you tell them, according to worldly tradition or family tradition or even traditions of different guru lines, as it's passed down. They were trying to get Gurudev to accept Diksha from his son, the Guru's son. Because he was the Guru of his father. He said, my son will be your Guru. And his son wasn't so seriously following. He was smoked bidi and things like that. So Gurudev was thinking, why should I take initiation from him? And he would quarrel. He said, first, Guru should be qualified. Gurudev showed in his life that you have to take shelter of a qualified Guru. He said, I will first quiz, I will examine him to see if he's qualified to be my Guru. So he would ask him very difficult questions. And this boy was, could not answer Gurudev's very difficult questions, so he ran away to his father. And his parents became very upset with Gurudev. Look what you've done, you've dishonored the son of our Guru. He said, I didn't say anything wrong, I just asked him some questions. If Guru cannot resolve the doubts in my heart, the questions I have, then how can he be my Guru? So Gurudev was very tricky like that. When they were trying to give him Brahmin thread, he said, did Hanuman have a Brahmin thread? Did Kakbusandi have to get Brahmin initiation? Did they not have devotion for Ram? So Gurudev was like that. He said, I will take, but it must be from someone who is qualified to really give me that Krishna prem, pure love. He said, otherwise love is natural in the heart. We cannot love God without initiation. What is the need? But initiation given by bona fide Guru, pure Guru, is so powerful that it can take us from, just kind of like a sentimental, love, to real relationship, to attainment of that transcendental position. So Gurudev performed these pastimes in his youth. It said that when Gurudev was young, he was a great athlete. And so he would compete with his friends in track and field. He would play soccer and things like that. So it said that when Gurudev's team, they would race in any competition, everyone knew they were only going for second. If they were competing against Gurudev, it was competing for second place. And when Gurudev would race, he would say, Jai Shri Ram. And when Gurudev would do the long jump, he would say, Jai Hanuman. And it said that Gurudev was, even, when Gurudev was older, he was very athletic. Sometimes he would, pretend like, very old, weak. You tell the story. One time Gurudev, he would always take his hand on someone's shoulder and walk, or, and show that he was slow, this and that. But one time, who was this Prabhu who fell? Huge Puru Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. 300 pounds. And he tripped and fell right next to Gurudev. And it was, sharp stones in the ground. And Gurudev caught him with one hand. While holding his hand on someone's shoulder. And lifted him back up. This is Gurudev's transcendental power. So Gurudev was very athletic like that. When he was finishing school, he also had very good marks in school. And so it's described that the British, they were searching for who could be police officers at that time. They wanted qualified policemen. And so they were searching in that area. And it's described that they selected, Gurudev was one of the top students in his school, so they wanted to interview him. So one of the conditions was that you had to know English. And Gurudev knew some English, but he was more focused on Sanskrit, and Sastra. Who wants to study this? Sanskrit is a much more important language than English. But, his parents wanted him to get a good job, and they kept asking him to, so he thought, okay, being a policeman, it could be worse, we could do that. So when he was doing the interview was in English. And Gurudev, he knew some English, but not completely fluent. So when the interviewer would ask him anything, Gurudev would just repeat, same question. So the interviewer said, what is your name? And Gurudev said, what is your name? Where are you from? Where are you from? Who is your father? Who is your father? So in this way, Gurudev spoke like that in such a confident way. The person was very impressed, and he went and told his superior. His name was Narayan Tiwari, Sriman Narayan. Narayan Tiwari. So he said, this Narayan Tiwari is he's very good athlete, very good student, and very bold. If you want a strong officer who's not going to take any nonsense from anyone, Yes, you may have to teach him a little bit of, how to be a good subordinate. But if you need a bold, strong officer, he's the one. So in this way, Gurudev became a policeman. And this was one part of his life that is very interesting. Gurudev describes in his own autobiographical talks how he was a policeman. And he said that at that point, fairly early on at that point, he began chanting 1 lakh Harinam every day. So just because he had this responsibility doesn't mean he was not chanting. He was very astute. His parents arranged his marriage. He didn't want it. But it's hard to, when you're young and your parents in that traditional culture, how can you object? But yet, he was always thinking, when will I find my Gurudev? He was always searching, when will I find my Gurudev? Where is my Gurudev? And he was praying. And he was thinking, if I'm a policeman, I'll get to travel. And so then I'll have a good chance of finding my Gurudev. And so Gurudev would travel to Uttarakhand, North India, Himachal Pradesh. There's always different conflicts there. He would travel there sometimes, Bihar, Orissa, Bengal. He would travel throughout these different states. He said, I'll serve in the police force, but you have to give me a good horse. I want a black horse and a white horse, so that I can anywhere I need to go, I can go very quickly, and if one is tired, I can use the other horse. They said yes. They gave Gurudeva these horses, and described that Gurudev performed many miraculous things in his time as a policeman. That one time the governor of that area of Bengal or Bihar was coming, searching for a file. The judge, they were missing a file, right? And they were searching for it since a long time. So they finally figured out that it was in this Buxar headquarters. This is headquarters of the police force in Bihar. So you know the Indian filing system, especially in the 40s, or at that time in the 40s, yes, 1940s. You know, it's just like mountains of paperwork in different rooms. How are you going to find the specific file? It's not like computer where you can just search keywords. So everyone was very worried, thinking, oh, if this person comes and we haven't found it, then we're all going to get fired. So they all prayed to Gurudev, please help us find this file, please help us find this file. So Gurudev, what did he do? He said, oh, you have no faith. Just see, I'll chant Lord Ram's names, and I will go with my eyes closed and search through a cabinet. Whatever one I pull out will be the right one. And to Gurudev, he said, you have to chant with me though. You have to have faith in Ram. So he began to chant, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Ram. And in this way, with his eyes closed, he walked, praying. You know, this is the real force. Use the force. The real force is the holy names and faith in the Lord. So he went and he touched onto a file, pulled it out. He said, is this it? And they looked at it and they all began to rejoice. Haribo, Haribo. And they lifted up Gurudev on their shoulders and began to carry him around with so much joy because Gurudev had saved them. So a short time after, this supervisor came and who found it? Who found him? And they introduced him to Narayan Tiwari. And they were very happy with him. So this is one of Gurudev's miraculous pastimes. It's described that another time Gurudev was doing his police work, but yet he would be very, whenever he heard, oh, there's some katha going on somewhere, he would try to find a day off or some way to, you know, get some time off to go and take shelter of Hari Katha. So it's described that one time there was like a 24-hour program going on for a few days. Like, you know, some days, you know, like we have today, like all day and then nighttime and then another day and then another day. So Gurudev thought, let me go for the program and the next day I'll go for work, no problem. So he went for the katha, but he became so absorbed in Hari Katha, he completely forgot about everything, forgot about his work and everything. Completely absorbed in Hari Katha, 1 day, 2 day. Then after the program was finished, you know, it was 1 day where he was supposed to be at his job, but he forgot. So then he remembered the next day, oh, I was supposed to be at work. And he thought, oh, I'll probably be fired. But he thought, anyhow, no problem. I want to go find my guru, find my transcendental guru, and if Krishna wants me to be fired, no problem. So he went to his office, and as he came into the office, he was thinking, you know, immediately he'll be summoned and fired or chastised. But he went in without any event, and he went into his, you know, his office place and sat down. And then a few minutes later, someone came from the supervisor saying, oh, you're being summoned to the office. So Gurudev said, okay. He got up. Then he sat down and the superintendent said, last night, it was your time to be on guard, duty, to be doing duty. Because at that time, there was a lot of insurgency going on. There's a lot of different things going on that you had to be very careful. So he said, there was so many people at their post, and I came in to check who was alert. And I saw many people sleeping on the post. And Gurudev was thinking, now it's going to come, you know, the axe is going to fall. The person said, many people were asleep, but then I saw you, and you were so alert, like Ram and Lakshman, you know, standing alert. You know, Lakshman is famous. He would never sleep. Ram and Sita would sleep for 14 years, whether in the forest in exile. Lakshman never slept at night. Why? Because there's so many demons in the forest, so many Rakshasas can come out and attack them. So Lakshman will always be vigilant. So his superintendent said, I was seeing you. You're so alert like Lakshman, like Ram. Just ready, standing back and forth, watching always aware of everything. And so Gurudeva was thinking, how is it possible? How is it possible? And that time Gurudev, afterwards he sat down in his office and he was thinking, if Krishna can take care of me like this, then why should I worry? I should give up everything and perform bhajan. Life is very precious. Every moment that passes will not come back. Kamala dhala jala jivana talamala. Life is hanging like a drop on the edge of a lotus. At any moment it can fall off. Every moment therefore is very precious. Every day is passing, but how much am I following and devoting myself to bhakti? Therefore, at that point he determined, I must find my Gurudev and surrender to him and serve him. Without that, what is the point of my life? So when he was praying like this and praying, it's described one time Gurudev was traveling here and there, doing his duties, and he saw a sadhu chanting Hagod Hanitai, Hagod Hanitai, and rolling on the ground in ecstasy. And Gurudev, immediately, it was like something awakened inside him. This is calling him. That Gaurnitai who appeared, Ram Lakshman saying, I am Gaurnitai, come to Navadvip. And he was thinking, oh, Hagod Hanitai. Then he was thinking, where can I find? Again he left, but he was thinking, where can I find these sadhus? Gurudev described like this, that, if once, Gurudev described it himself, saying that if once we are having the fortune of seeing a sadhu, a real devotee, absorbed in bhav, ecstatic emotion, calling out, Gaurnitai, Shri Radha Krishna, that moment is so powerful, completely transforms our existence. That it is not an ordinary thing, it's not just an emotion or a sentiment. Coming into contact with such a sadhu, when they're experiencing such spiritual emotions, completely transforms. For millions of lifetimes we're in Maya, but one moment like that with sadhu makes our life perfect. So even though Gurudev is perfect, he shows us the path of sadhana. Why sadhu sangha is so important? Because in sadhu sangha, pure sadhu sangha, you get the chance to see how they have devotion. See how for them, Radha Krishna, Gurudev, they are not just an idea, they are real. For Vaishnavas, even when Gurudev is gone, they speak about Gurudev every day. Oh, Gurudev today he came and said this. Oh, Gurudev today he has this desire. Oh, Gurudev wants us to cook this. Oh, the other day, all the acharyas came, we had a big festival, big feast. Oh, today Radharani is missing her toe ring and we had to go together and search for it. Like for them, this world of Radha Krishna, of Mahaprabhu is more real than this world we are in now. So having association of such sadhus, it's not something on our own we can think like that. We can speculate like that. Oh, I'm going to serve Mahaprabhu, I'm going to serve Radha Krishna. For them, it's real. And when they're praying like this, if we have chance of their association, then everything is completely transformed. So Gurudev, after that, then very soon after, he met a dear disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada named Narottamananda Prabhu. Narottamananda Prabhu, at that time, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada had disappeared. This was in the 40s, 43, 44. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada left in 30s, late 30s. So Narottamananda Prabhu was staying with Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, in Navadvip. They had one place in Calcutta, Udharan Gaudiya Math, not in Calcutta, Chunchura. And they gradually got this land where they started the ashram, Devananda Gaudiya Math. And Narottamananda Prabhu would travel everywhere, giving Bhagavat Shaptaha, giving Bhagavat Katha, and bringing people towards this path. He would always be traveling here and there. He was a great scholar of the Bhagavat. So Gurudev got the assignment to investigate. The British were thinking that, now there was a lot of sentiment of uprising, revolution in India for becoming an independent state, separate from the British. So the British, they were suspicious of the sadhus. You know, generally people are suspicious of sadhus. Oh, they're up to something. So the British were thinking, you know, oh, perhaps they're going around trying to raise a sense of, you know, spirit of revolution amongst the people. Even nowadays, you see like sadhus, you know, many people are there who are always like giving such heavy propaganda, you know, heavy nationalist kind of propaganda that, you know, people become afraid of this sentiment. So they were thinking, oh, these sadhus, who knows what they're doing. So they sent Narayan Tiwari to investigate. And he thought, oh, it's a very good opportunity to hear Harikatha. So for 1 week, every day he would go to Harikatha, spoken by Narottamananda Prabhu. And after Katha, he would stay for hours and they would discuss Harikatha. So they had wonderful discussions. I think we'll talk about them more tomorrow. So we'll stop here today. So I'm praying to Srila Gurudev, praying to the Vaishnavas. We have a grave responsibility in this life. Sometimes we can think, you know, we're very fortunate. I feel very fortunate to have met Gurudev when I was very young. But at the same time, I feel very unfortunate that now I have a long life, who knows. But whatever life I have, and Gurudev is externally not here. Maybe it would be better to have met Gurudev when I was old and to leave with Gurudev. But this is not up to us. Whenever we have the fortune of coming into Gurudev's association, then that's Gurudev's desire. But also we have the good luck to be in the shelter of Gurudev's near and dear ones. Nija nikata nivasam dehi govardhanatvam. Like we pray to Giriraj, please make me near you. What do we really pray? Make me near those who are near you, then I will be near you. Otherwise, oh, Giriraj is just a mountain. But if I am near those who are very near to Giriraj, then I can understand Giriraj. So we pray to Gurudev, please, in my life, let me always be in the shelter of your very dear and near associates. Now you could say, it seems like, oh, we are so far away. How unlucky we are. But Vaishnavas say, no, you should not think like that. It's very important that we have to serve our Gurudev. He is not gone. Gurudev is with us. This is not his 100th appearance day. He is eternal. Every year, he is eternally youthful. He is Nitya Kishore, Nitya Kishori. So, oh, Gurudev is now 100 years old. This is, in one sense, okay, yes. But if we become fixated on that, then it means we don't have faith. We're only thinking he is some personality in this world. Namartha buddhya suyeta sarva deva mayo guru. Krishna says, never think the guru is mundane. Guru sunara matir. If you think Gurudev is a mundane person, narakisa, you go to hell. Arche Vishnu stiladir guru sunara matir Vaishnava jati buddhi. You think Vaishnava is bound by caste, creed, oh, Vaishnava is Russian, American, Bengali, Hindustani. No, Vaishnava is Krishna's Vibhinangsa Tattva. We're all that, but Vaishnava is Achyuta Gotra, Krishna's family. So Gurudev, Naramati, don't have this idea he is an ordinary man or he is a great devotee only. He is Radha Krishna's Priya Sakhi, Mahaprabhu's dear associate. So we pray to Gurudev like that. Oh Gurudev, you are eternal. Nitaya Charana Satya Tahara Sevaka Nitya. Oh, like Nityananda is eternal, Gurudev is eternal. His sevaks are eternal. So therefore we take courage in that, and we should be ready to take on that load of responsibility to please and serve our Srila Gurudev. There's so much to be done. So therefore, if we serve our Gurudev in our life, that can give us purpose and meaning and direction in life. And without Guru Seva, we truly become like a rudderless ship. We become lost at sea without any direction. But if our compass is, our direction is, how can I serve my Gurudev? And the Vaishnavas are helping guide us how to serve our Gurudev and please him. So therefore we try to endeavor in this way that by our engagement in serving Guru Pad Padma, he can become pleased with us. He will glance at us with his affectionate glance, and then our lives will be successful. Vanchakapadriva Sakripasandevacha Pritanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Gurudeva ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Parampara ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Do one short kirtan. Vrindavan Prabhu, thank you for setting up this beautiful altar. Radharman Prabhu, Dandavats, Prem. Very nice, we're here together. Gurudev must be very pleased. His heart is here with us. Gurudev's heart is here with us, then Gurudev is here with us. Gurudev would say, Seva Kunj is my heart. So he would give Seva Kunj to all the devotees, giving his own heart. So we are inside Gurudev's heart now.
Taking our heart and giving his.
Gurudev, take my heart is full of so much kapata, so much lust, so much greed, so much anger, so much desire for pratishtha. Please take that, wash it, and make it one with your heart. Kore more atmasat. Make me atmasat with yours. Then this Seva Kunj will be in our heart also. But now it's like we are present. Outside is very cold in this world. But inside Gurudev's heart it's very warm. Outside it's below freezing. But in Gurudev's heart, oh, very warm. So here Gurudev is present, Prabhupada is present. I remember Prabhupada tells the story. In Prabhupada's appearance day, disappearance day, Prabhupada appeared and said, no, my program will be in Giriraj. And he showed him where he is present in Giriraj's Ratikeli Kunj, where his Kunj is, cave in Giriraj. So we are also, Gurudev, Prabhupada, they are very intimate associates, very close intimate associates. Prabhupada wrote to Gurudev in a letter, our relationship is transcendental and based on pure love. Just like my relationship to my Gurudev. So Gurudev and Prabhupada are very dear intimate associates. Therefore they are here together. Shalagram is here. They're all here seeing how, we're like babies trying to learn how to walk. So if we learn and are able to do it, Gurudev once said that, those devotees who are in the Dham, following everything, sadhu sangha, I'm very happy with them. Very, very happy with them. Tanama rupa charitari sukirtanam. This is the essence of everything. Follow this process. But those who are in the West, faced with more difficulties, harder to follow everything, and they are following still, I'm even more happy with them. So this is a chance for us to make Gurudev very happy with us. Gurudev needs places where people can have shelter. Nowadays it's not so easy. Before, we can just go to India anytime. Now, you need a vaccine passport, or now you can't even go. And many people are there who don't have the money to go anyhow. So to have a place that is truly, awakening Anurag for Braj Bhakti, this will be so pleasing to Gurudev. So we pray to be able to please him by this endeavor.